Before this video starts, I just want to shout out to YouTuber Cartoonshi. His Owl House review heavily inspired this video. So in the Owl House, we meet Luz, a weird girl who finds herself isekai or transported to another world. This new fantasy world has monsters, magic, and mystery. You know, the works. And that's not an original concept at all. We see similar things in Infinity Train, Kipo, and Amphibia. It'd be fine if they did something new with the trope, but it's just more of the same. Our optimistic main character uses her bubbly personality and upbeat nature to solve all her problems and win over all her enemies. Similar to Maple from Gravity Falls, Steven from Steven Universe, or Kipo from Kipo. This character type is too often used in new manga cartoons, and really I'm getting sick of it. It could begin to work again if they gave them more depth beyond being a goody two-shoes nice person. Look at Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He starts out as a goofy, optimistic kid similar to Luz, but as the series goes on, we see Aang is worried and fearful of his destiny. He uses his goofy, fun-loving attitude to distract him from the weight of his responsibility. The most depth we get with Luz is her regretting lying to her mom, a plot thread that is resolved the same episode is introduced. Plus, she with little to no hesitation destroys her only way back to Earth. You think Luz will be conflicted about doing this or regretful after the fact? But she isn't. Now let me talk about the best girl from Plowhouse. Amity Blight. She's really just Pacifica from Gravity Falls or Tom from Star Vs. just done far worse. Pacifica has a great arc where we get to see why she acts the way she does and her change. Tom gets several episodes dedicated to his redemption. Amity's arc is getting reasonably mad at Luz a few times, then having a little talk with her and becoming cool with her. Then a few episodes later, she's in love with her. Contrast this with different Pacifica, where he has to go out of his way to solve a problem that her family caused to get her to trust him. The other characters we have are just as unoriginal. King is just Peridot, Lilith is just a far worse Ford, and Ida is just Stan with a bad mystery element tacked on. Usually I'd say there's nothing wrong with mystery being a main element within your show, however the mystery aspects are an afterthought at best. Gravity Falls use mystery as a driving force in the plot, while having characters that grow throughout it, always revealing new information to keep you invested. The Owl House never feels like it's leading towards answers for the mysteries that it presents. The mystery about who cursed Ida is only very loosely referenced. The main characters never pursued an answer to this question, and there isn't an episode dedicated to it. We only get reminded of her curse when she transforms due to it. Throughout the season, her curse even gets worse, but the only time she thinks about how she got cursed is at the end of some episodes during dream sequences. Luz, the main character, never ponders who cursed her mentor. Contrast this with Dipper, who has multiple episodes dedicated to him trying to find the author of the journals. Or Tulip, who spends the whole season trying to figure out how the train and her number works. This flimsy mystery does get resolved at the end of the show, but getting the answer feels empty because none of the main characters ever cared enough to search for it. A lot of modern cartoons have empty mysteries in them to keep the audience engaged, such as Star with Toffee or Steven Universe with White Diamond. When I first watched the Owl House, I really liked it. After a while though, I realized it's just the same old unoriginal wannabe Gravity Falls we've been getting since 2010. I'm sick of every cartoon trying to be a mysterious, fantasy, feel-good, episodic, yet story-driven adventure. There's so much more that can be done with animation, and I'm hoping companies start to realize that again.